8 p.m. This is your meridian. So you just draw a line straight down. Make sure it's straight too. I've had people draw it like kind of slanty. You don't want to do that. Make sure it's straight down. And it will line up with a particular hour, and that's fine. But anyway, so this is your meridian, the line that cuts the sky in half. And now you need to find your zenith. Well, your zenith was equal to your latitude at the very, very first slide that I told you about. And for DFW, it's going to be about 32 degrees. So what you do is on your meridian, you go up 32 degrees, and you put a little X or a little circle or something. I prefer an X, but it's whatever you want to use to mark it. And this is your zenith. So on April 21st at 8 p.m., if you were to go outside and look directly up, this is what you would see. A whole lot of nothing. But this is exactly what you would see if you looked up. And with this is your first kind of tool to say, well, okay, if I look west, remember west is to the right, what are these two stars, these two bright stars, if I look a little bit to the west of the zenith? Well, on the star chart, these are Castor and Pollux, the twin stars of Gemini. Be like, oh, okay, well, what if I look a little bit south? There's this question mark looking set of stars. Well, this question mark looking stars is the constellation Leo. So you can already see how you can start seeing what is what right now. And even better, you can get your west and east horizon points. Now, since the sky is divided up into 24 hours and the meridian splits the sky in half, if you go 6 hours on your star chart either way, you can see where your due west and east horizon points are. So here, this is at what, 10 hours? So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, our west horizon point is at 4 hours. So you can be like, okay, on the west horizon, there's this crazy looking set of stars. Well, this is Orion, which is actually my cat's name, and he's sitting in my lap right now as I record this. So if you go over 6 hours the other way, 1, 2, and remember the star chart flips over, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is your due eastern point on your horizon. And if you look a little northeast, there's this like kite looking constellation called Bootes with a very, very bright star called Antares. So now you basically have the entirety of what you can see at night at April 21st at 8 p.m. What all the stars you can see. So this is the stuff in between these western and eastern horizon points that you cannot see. And the sun is here, so the sun has just set. You know, it's 8 p.m., so the sun has just set in the west, so it's over here. Now, the sun does not move like the stars move during the night. The sun is where it is on that day, on the, for that entire day on the ecliptic. But what we're going to see now is how the stars move at night. So let's say you wanted to go out on April 21st at 9 p.m. Well, I said that this chart was only calibrated for 8. Well, that's the ingenious thing about using right ascension in hours and minutes, is because if you want to go out at 9, all you have to do is shift everything over once. So look, watch. So we're at 10 hours, our western horizon point's at 4 hours. Now, if we go over at 9, go outside at 9, look, everything is shifted over. So right now, our zenith is in Leo Minor, which are very dim stars. And look, Orion has moved closer to the western horizon. And if we want to go out at 10 p.m., we just move it over another hour. So Orion has now set. You will not be able to see Orion because the western horizon, he's gone below it. and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. So now the last thing that we need to talk about is what happens if you want to go outside at a date that is not on your chart. I mentioned this earlier. So let's say if you're looking at your star charts right now, you want to go out at January 10th at 8 p.m. Well, this is, once you learn this, you'll have mastery of this star chart. This is the hardest thing to do. If you want to be precise, it's not terribly difficult, but you know, it's in the realm of what all this is. It's the hardest thing. And there are really just 3 steps. I believe it's 3 steps. So I'm going to go through this. I would normally repeat this like 5 or 10 times, but you can rewind this and, you know, since this is a video, I'm not going to repeat myself a bunch. So you're going to find the date that is closest to, but not over the date that you're looking for. So I hope you're following along on your star chart. So where you want to go out at January 10th, the date that is closest to, but not over January 10th, is January 5th. So January 5th, and this would be at 8 p.m. So that's where your meridian would be. Okay. So then what you need to know is stars cross the meridian 4 minutes earlier each day due to the Earth's revolution. So as the Earth revolves around the sun, the Earth is revolving around the sun, and it's also rotating on its axis. And due to both of those things, stars rise 4 minutes earlier each day. It just is the way it is. So what you need to do, the second step, is to get the difference of days. So the 10th is when you want to go out. 5th is the date on the chart. So 10 minus 5 is 5 days. So that's the second step. Just subtract those 2 days. And then what you do is, due to this Earth rising, stars rise 4 minutes earlier per day, you have a difference of 5 days. Sorry, I live by a train track. I don't know if it's picking that up, but that's really annoying. But you have a difference of 5 days. So you multiply that by the stars rising 4 minutes earlier each day. So you get 20 minutes, because day on the bottom cancels out days on the top, and you're left with the unit of minutes here at the top. So that is how much you're going to move your meridian, or your meridian over from January 5th in this case. So you'll move it over 20 minutes. So, you know, you'll count little ticks. Each tick is 5 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20. You'll count 4 ticks over. And that is where your meridian is on January 10th at 8 p.m. Okay, so you can rewind and go and watch that. I'm going to leave it there. A few things to remember: any line on your star chart, north-south, is a meridian. It may not be your meridian, but it is technically a meridian. Approximately 1/2 the stars are visible at any given time. The Earth's rotation means that the stars, the sun, the moon, and the planets rise and set each day. And the Earth's revolution about the sun lets us have seasonal stars and constellations. So we get to see different constellations at different seasons. So what I want you to do, this would be classroom, but what I want you to do is do the sky familiarization part 1 on page 5. And I want you to do the other questions on the next page as well. And I want everybody to do September 2nd at, I don't want you to do it at 10 p.m. Change that, excuse me. I mean at 8. I wanted you to do it at 10 p.m. So we're going to change that right now.